And a welcome to you inside Carver Arena here in downtown Peoria. It's Bradley basketball right here on the Valley on ESPN as the Braves welcome in the Cleveland State Vikings. As we welcome you into the broadcast, Friday Night Lights, indoor lights anyway, with Christoph Kendrick. I am Brian Vito, and Christoph, Braves after a 10-day layoff looking to get back in the win column against a 6-5 Cleveland State team that's always in the mix in the Horizon League.
Oh, no question about it. That 10-day layoff, finals week, it's always something you think about and maybe struggle with. But I think the Braves will respond well tonight. Cleveland State's a nice team, but if Bradley does what they should do, I expect them to come out with a win tonight.
Let's highlight the Vikings first and who you really have to watch out for. That's Tristan Enaruna.
Tristan Enaruna, we'll have a Dutch-on-Dutch matchup tonight with him and Malavi. He's an outstanding player. He can make threes, doesn't shoot many of them, but he slashes well, he scores inside. If you crowd him on the outside, he'll blow right by you and finish. Heck of a ball player. Bradley's going to have their hands full tonight.
And for the Braves, Connor Hickman out once again, so Duke Dean's got to do even more tonight.
Yeah, I agree, Brian. I think Duke Dean is a grizzled vet. He's been around. He knows what it takes to win in this league and to win and beat a team like Cleveland State. So I think you'll see him step his game up even more tonight.
And then quickly, let's go over the keys to the game. What do both teams have to do to be successful tonight?
So I think, for Cleveland State, they're on the road tonight. They need to give Bradley no second chance points. They're 351st in the country in giving up offensive rebounds. Against a team that's struggling to score, maybe with Hickman out like Bradley, you can't let them get their head up by scoring, getting second chance points, and their defense must travel. They give up 79 points on the road and only 62 at home. They got to find a way to channel that here in Carver Arena tonight.
And then for the Braves, what do they got to do coming back home here tonight?
Well, again, you got a 3-game losing streak. You want to snap that. So reestablish your identity, which is being tough, getting offensive rebounds, going to the glass. And that's what I think Bradley's going to do. And then, most of all, just step up. You're here at home. You have the crowd behind you. Who's going to come in? Who's going to fill those shoes for Connor Hickman scoring? Will it be offensive rebounds? Will it be Duke D? What's it going to be?
All right, Christoph, we're about ready to get rolling here in Peoria as the first ever matchup between these two programs is underway as the Braves control the tip.
Here we go.
Pitches starters momentarily as Malavi Leons on the double clutch gets the first bucket of the night.
And you're seeing the battle of the Dutchmen tonight between Leons and Arunu, and Leons draws first blood.
There's Drew Lauder with it. Getting the start, gives to Dylan Arnett. Hands off to Tay Williams. Is Arnett. Lauder splits a pair of defenders, and it ripped and stolen away by Leons. Battle for it, still no whistle. There's the jump ball. It will stay with the Vikings.
As expected, Bradley coming out with a lot of grit here, a lot of vinegar to their game right now. They're not going to come out and lay down. They're going to come out hot.
So Leons gets the opening bucket, and then with his active hands forces the tie-up. So we mentioned already 4 different Viking starters as they've all had possession. The only one we haven't mentioned is number 11, Jason Woodridge, getting his first start of the season. Bradley's going to run out. Duke Dean, who we just highlighted, the aforementioned Leons, Darius Hanna, Christian Davis, and Demarion Birch will get the start. The freshman out of Milwaukee for Bradley.
I'm looking for big things out of Birch tonight, getting the start. I think he's earned it. Coach Wardle speaks so highly of him. The staff loves him. Great opportunity for this young man.
That's what Woodridge can do when he knocks down a contested three from the wing. And then they turn it over, and 6 points in a matter of 2 seconds for the Vikings.
And that obviously a little mental error right there after a tough shot, and Braves will rebound back from that.
Here's Dean. We'll get the ball screen for Hanna. Davis can answer, and Woodridge the rebound.
2 really good possessions from Bradley early. That's going to pay off down the line. You like to see the start offensively. Now defensively, just keep cleaning it up. No more errors. There you go.
There's going to be an offensive foul off the ball. That's going to go on Arnett.
Kind of just rooted him out there, and the referee caught it. And sometimes that's a call that doesn't get made, but Bradley got the benefit of the doubt there.
So Cleveland State, not a team that has shot in the three all that well this year. And that's maybe part of the reason why they're getting Woodrich in. Will line up his ability to stretch the floor. He comes in at 47% from three, as that one is airmailed, and it'll go back over to the Vikings.
No, you're absolutely right, Brian. If you look at what Cleveland State's done through 11 games this year, they're not bad at anything, but they're not great at anything. So they're kind of right in the middle. Very consistent team, so they can hurt you in different ways. But certainly in today's day and age, you want more three-point shooting.
A team that they can force turnovers, however, and they've done a couple already. And this one is, here's Anaruna, who stepped on the baseline, and it'll turn back over to Bradley. Vikings at 6-5, as we mentioned in the open. They're 6-0 at home and 0-5 away.
And that's kind of the thing, too, we were talking about in the pregame. They give up 79 points per game on the road. And that, you're not going to win any game doing that. So let's see if the defense needs a travel tonight for them. Let's see how it goes.
And the travel is going to go on Dean. So it'll go back over to Cleveland State. Again, out of the Horizon League, they were preseason 4th in that league. And as we mentioned at the top of the broadcast, a program that's very much in the mix every year of the Horizon League. They lost by 2 in the Horizon League championship game last year, won it a couple of years ago.
Oh, no question about it. And Coach Robinson does a great job with these guys. You know, he's this his 2nd year now. And he's got an already established culture and identity in his program.
That one's going to stay with the Vikings. They will crash the offensive glass quite a bit.
They do. I talked about how they give up so much, but they also get a lot. One stat that stuck out to me that I almost had to double take, and you kind of mentioned it with the turnovers, they average 9 steals a game. Yeah, I thought that was very impressive.
Yeah, they force a lot of turnovers, and they're also 42nd in the country in offensive rebounding percentage. And then the Braves force a turnover on the other end. And checking in, as we see our first substitution for the Vikings. As Dean, trying to beat his defender, gives to Birch. Leon's crossing over to Dean, spots up from 3.
Good little drop off there, and Duke Dean's not going to miss that one very often. Good job by Malvar Leon. You see his versatility there, making himself like a point forward. Scottie Pippen type right there.
Here's Mortar, who just checked in. And Aruna gives to Woodrich. They look for the slip instead to Mortar. And Aruna cut off, fades, and left it short. Tap to Hanna, and the Braves have it and will look to run. Here's Birch slashing in. Short baseline deuce for Davis is down.
Great job by Demarion Birch. Drew 2 defenders. Davis is right where he needed to be, and he knocked that one in.
So a modest 5-0 run for the Braves. Puts them up by 1. Here's Louder, who had 14 starts last year, but in the starting lineup this year. Mortar. Back to Louder, averaging just under 13 points per game. Sidesteps a 3, tough shot, and Aruna the rebound.
And that's when Anaruna's dangerous, too. He scores so many different ways. Offensive board can't quite finish there, though.
Louder left wing 3. And another chance for the Vikings. This time Birch comes away, numbers ahead for Hanna. Race to the ball, Hanna gets there and will get 2. On the basket interference.
Well, the Milwaukee connection, getting a basket there. Good look up by Birch, good finish by Hanna.
That'll send us to our first break of the night. 15:35 to go in the half. Braves on a 7-0 run, bookended by this Hanna deuce.
Available with the connected driving experience and the world's first 6-function multi-pro tailgate. GMC Sierra. It's the truck. Or just in time for the holidays, get $4,000 purchase cash on select 2023 Sierra models. Plus, current eligible GMC owners get an additional $2,500 purchase allowance. See your Central Illinois GMC dealer.
I wait tables, but last week I built a field hospital. I stopped 1,000 attackers.
And a natural disaster.
While I go to school full-time.
While I work full-time.
The greater the challenge, the stronger we become.
Ever since I tried Hidden Valley Ranch, I finally found what I've been looking for.
Oh my gosh.
I know. How is this stuff so good?
Hidden Valley Ranch.
Only serious about flavor.
9-6, Bradley with the lead on a 7-0 run. You get a look at the Vikings huddle, and towards the bottom, kind of shielded. There you go. You see Daniel Robinson in his second year as the head coach of the Vikings, but he's been around quite a bit. Christoph, Iowa State as an assistant, helped recruit some top talent there, but he's no stranger to the Valley, the Horizon League, time at Loyola as well. Him and Brian Wardle know each other very well, and he's got this program. I mean, great in his first year last year, really picking up where Dennis Gates and his staff left off a couple of years ago.
No, Brian, you said it the best. I mean, where Coach Gates left off, he just picked right up, kept the train going. Very familiar with the Midwest, as you mentioned, a lot of recruiting connections, and a good human being. And that goes a long way in this business.
And it's interesting because we've talked a lot about the strength of schedule for Bradley in non-conference, and it's been very, very good. And what's been consistent about it is that these are schools that don't just have flash in the pans one good year. They keep bringing in schools and playing schools like Cleveland State that have a really sound identity and a really strong program year after year.
Brian, that's a great point. You've seen that with Vermont, with Akron, and now with Cleveland State. These teams win in their league, and they win at a high level. And it's really going to prepare Bradley for the MVC.
Utah State, another one of those teams that Bradley won out here against overtime. They've had a great run ever since that game. As in transition, the Braves look to push. They look for Jonovic, and that one is taken away. That's Tay Williams, who in transition is too strong. Tipped up a couple of times by Enaruna. He draws the double. Ellis anticipated that well. Chased down by Davis. Flips it ahead, but Cleveland State comes away with it. Now they have numbers.
Getting a little helter-skelter here, but that's all right. Guys getting after it, getting in the flow of the game.
Williams, the 6'7" senior out of Chicago, started his career at John A. Logan College. There with the left-handed finger roll and getting the friendly bounce is Enaruna, again averaging over 17 points per game. Had 22 in the loss at Kent State their last time out, which was a week ago.
You're seeing him kind of showcase what he does, and that's attack downhill, use good footwork, and score in a variety of ways.
Here's Williams, one of 11 players in the Horizon League last year to have at least 4 double-doubles. As Woodridge pulls up just inside the arc. And the Braves don't mind that. They don't. If you're going to give up a shot to Woodridge, you hope it's a long two, right?
That's the one you want.
Yeah.
That's the one they teach to give up and contest it a little bit. But obviously, you want to finish the rebound there. Yep.
Enaruna deep three, and Arnett is there to collect it for the Vikings. Little teardrop, no good. This time, Leons is able to secure it.
I think Coach Wardle's very happy with the lack of defensive rebounding so far.
Ellis, corner, Leons a three.
Dylan Arnett with another rebound there. That is what he's always known for. We recruited him a little bit when I was at Western Michigan. He was a kid that was just all over the court all the time.
6'9" sophomore. Fading to the left is Louder. Contested one. That was a tough one. And it'll go back over to Bradley, and they'll bring in 3 different substitutions. A couple of freshmen, including Birch returning, and Elmar Atlason seeing his first action of the night.
And again,
also back in.
He could be an X-factor action tonight in many different ways. We talked about, certainly the last time I did a broadcast with you, how he affected the game on both ends of the floor with his ability to shoot, but also defend and rebound.
And Atlason 11 points. And Bradley's last contest again 10 days ago against Akron. 2-on-1 for the Vikings. And Enaruna draws the contact. I actually didn't hear the whistle at first.
I didn't hear the whistle either, yeah. Well, these kids are playing hard, man. You just talked about that substitution. Well, they've earned it because it's getting up and down. Kids are flying around. Bodies are on the floor. This is going to be a good basketball game tonight.
It's going to be 2 shots for Enaruna. 61% from the line. Again, spent time Iowa State, Kansas. Obviously, chance to know Daniel Robinson from the time at Iowa State. And And now we're going to get a look at T.J. Moss making his season debut coming in for Cleveland State, and someone they really expect to contribute the rest of the way for the Vikings.
Absolutely, it's going to be interesting to see what he does. First game, it's going to be on the road against a hostile crowd. Let's see what he can do.
And Aruna splits a pair. Get Bradley 3-1 here at home. And taken away by Moss, who just checked in. Went one-on-one, forced one up, couldn't finish. And now the Braves will go the other way with it. In transition, Atlason, corner, Ellis, good shot fake. Ellis with the reverse.
Great finish. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention Demarion Birch not hanging his head after he made that turnover, stuck with it, made him take a tough shot, got the ball back. The Braves scored. Great job by the freshman Birch there.
And Aruna finds space. Good ball movement by the Vikings. Back of the iron, no good. This time one and done for the Braves. I mean, if you're Cleveland State, you're happy that you've had 7 offensive rebounds, but you got to be kind of bummed, but you only got 2 second chance points.
Right, absolutely.
Good ball movement by the Braves this time, and Atlason is off the mark. Came in 50% from 3, 10 of 20, now 10 of 21 on the year.
You know, Brian, I think we're about 8, 9 minutes into this game now. What we're seeing is when Bradley does not turn it over, they're getting the look they want. They're getting a good shot every time. That's definitely a good sign for them.
Barnett. Now 4 to shoot. Leons picks his pocket. 2-on-1 up top for Hannah was too strong.
Malavai just got a little sped up there. Great steal, though.
So it'll be Vikings basketball out of the timeout. 11:21 remaining here in the half. Bradley out to a 2-point lead right here on the Valley.
And yours, Toyota Hybrids. That's right, Toyota has more electrified vehicles than any other brand. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
This year, let Ford make the holidays bright and bring everyone together. Go over any type of terrain with Ford Bronco Sport.
How's the weather?
All good.
And the confidence of GOAT modes. And the versatile Ford Explorer with available seating for 7. And with power on demand in the all-electric Ford F-150 Lightning, well, that's how Ford is making the holidays bright. See your Ford dealer today during the Make the Holidays Bright sales event.
Brian Beto, Christoph Kendrick, Bradley out to a 2-point lead. Approaching the midway point of the first half, you get a look at Brian Wardle commanding his troops now in his 9th season, the reigning Valley Coach of the Year, the obvious Coach of the Year in the Valley last year. 4 seasons of 20-plus wins for the Braves in his resume. Familiar with Cleveland State, obviously from his time, or at least as a program from his time at Green Bay as well. And we talked about the connection to Daniel Robinson, too. And has his team, like they've been all year, I know recently off their most recent home game, a loss against Indiana State, but they've just been so dominant here in this building.
No, absolutely. And I think, anytime you're on any type of losing streak, when you can come back to your home court, the friendly confines, as they say, is a way to get yourself back going. This is certainly what you want. Yeah,
and you could speak to this, Christoph. One thing I've always really admired about the staff is they really buy into don't get too high or too low. You're never as good as you think you are, never as bad as you think you are. So as a result, when you are in somewhat of a skid, so to speak, you have so much confidence that they're going to find their way out of it because they don't change the process.
Absolutely. You know what you're doing. You go out, you do your job, you do it, and let the chips fall where they may. The scoreboard takes care of itself.
That's a tough shot made by Drew Louder over the outstretched arms of Christian Davis to tie things up at 11.
And again, if you're Bradley, you're living with that one all night.
Yep.
Louder making that over to 6'7" Davis.
Looking for the curling Leons, couldn't find him. Now Hannah has it 1-on-1. Hannah tried the offhand, had it spatted away. And here's Louder. Now Enaruna guarded by Leons. Hesitation step, this time with the left-handed finger roll, no good. Offensive rebound, up and good by Tevin Smith, the 6'4" junior out of Danville, Illinois, who spent the last 2 seasons with Denver, making 46 starts there.
Man, Tevin Smith's a good player. You see now the guards are getting involved in the offensive rebounding action. So all 5 for the Braves got a block out.
Leons, who opened the scoring for Bradley, gets 2 more.
Beautiful take, beautiful finish.
Louder. There's Smith back to Arnett, who's played valuable minutes for the Vikings. There comes the ball screen, they'll switch. Trying to get by Atlason, up and he rattles one in.
Drew Louder's, he's playing well tonight. I mean, he's been around for a long time and he's showing it.
Blocked away, and the Vikings will come away with it. Up ahead, here's Louder. Cleveland State with a 2-point lead.
Man, Cleveland State's pretty athletic on this front line with Arnett and Rooney. I've never seen the Bradley guys get their shot blocked or tipped as much as they have this early.
Jalen Rice backing his way in is Enaruna. Surprise baseline. That was really well anticipated by Atlason. 3rd time. And this time Enaruna will shoot 2. Again, they're just relentless on that offensive glass, something we knew going into tonight.
No, that's a great call. Bradley did a great job defensively there. Good job walling up here by Atlason, but did not finish the play. And two offensive rebounds on this. And it's going to be all hands on deck for the Braves. All 5 got to crack down and rebound.
Enaruna, preseason first-team All-Horizon League. First-team All-Horizon League last year, led the team, and 9th in the league with nearly 16 points per game. Meta will come back, as well as Ellis. Leons and Hanna will exit. A 6-0 run for the Vikings. As Dean will inbound.
Cleveland State mixing it up a little bit with a little token full court pressure here. See how the Braves respond to this. I think just going to run the normal offense. Shouldn't be anything different.
Downhill is Dean. He's cut off. They post up Jonovic with the mismatch, and he draws the foul. I think they're going to give him 2. The way the official was pointing.
And that's a great job by the Bradley coaching staff, recognizing the Vikings were switching. We're able to get him isolated down there. He's going to get 2 free throws.
So Jonovic will head to the strike. And he makes the first. He's been great in a small sample from the line.
As we talked about before, he's a guy this staff just loves, and he's really come around with it. He's been here. And so I think we're going to see his minutes increase as the year goes on.
Allison chases down the miss. And let's see if the Braves can take advantage of the extra possession. They find Jonovic again, great position, great help by Jalen Rice, but it'll remain Bradley basketball with 9 on the clock.
Jonovic absolutely buried him, like you said there. But man, I'll tell you, these Vikings are all over the court. How many block shots is that now? 4 or 5? Coming from the weak side that time.
Davis will inbound. They find Ellis off the inbound. He stumbles, regains. No look through the fingertips of Davis. Punched out back to Dean. A 3 that's in and out. And a foul's going to go on Davis. As Mortar got his hands on it first.
I really like that Cleveland State is on the road tonight, but yet they're being the aggressor. They're playing, relentlessly, as you said earlier, on the offensive glass. But they're just playing like they got nothing to lose. I really like that attitude they're coming in.
Rice, who just had that emphatic block moments ago. Now Smith, Order, now Louder. just inside the elbow, and that's going to be a foul on Louder as Atlason arrived first.
And they run Buffalo action offense there. Good job getting them to shoot a contested 2, and then now Bradley's going to get the ball back after this timeout.
Down 3 with 7:58 to go. We'll be back after this. You're watching The Valley on ESPN.
We have a special guest today on ESPN College Game Day, the Geico Deco.
Look, just get to the part when you tell everyone how easy it is to ensure what's important to them. Home, car, even RV. Come on, there's an RV right there. Did he even see the talking points I gave him?
I don't believe so, sir.
For all your insurance needs from home to car to RV, it's easy to Geico.
Desmond?
I forgot the talking points.
There are trucks, and then there's the GMC Sierra, available with the connected driving experience and the world's first 6-function multi-pro tailgate. GMC Sierra. It's the truck. Or just in time for the holidays, get $4,000 purchase cash on select 2023 Sierra models. Plus, current eligible GMC owners get an additional $2,500 purchase allowance.
See your Central Illinois GMC dealer.
The Home Depot, committed to filling the trades gap.
At Jersey Mike's, they slice your sub right in front of you. All that meat and cheese just for me. Watching that takes me to my happy place. Oh, wait. Jersey Mike's is my happy place. Kelly, did I place an order here in my happy place?
Not yet, Danny.
Then I'm going back to reality.
Number 7 for Danny.
Oh, thanks, reality, Kelly. Sliced right in front of you. It's a Jersey Mike's thing. A sub above.
N+.
Brian Vito, Christoph Kendrick with you, also joined by Luke Kocher. And Luke, we said earlier, first ever matchup between these two programs, but we always also talked about the familiarity these two coaches have with one another.
Yeah, guys, great to be with you tonight, but these teams have never matched up in their history, but Coach Robinson on the side of Cleveland State, 6-9 all-time against the Bradley Braves, dating back to 2000. Obviously spent time Illinois State, Iowa State, and Loyola. All of those teams have played the Braves. On the other side for Bradley, Brian Wardle, 12-10 all-time against Cleveland State at Green Bay. Played these teams a lot over the years, but obviously Cleveland State took over for Dennis Gates, as in Coach Robinson did. He had a great year last year. Back to you guys.
Yeah, thanks, Luke. Certainly have 21 wins last year, the most ever for a first-year head coach in program history. His team out to a 3-point lead. Let's see how the Braves respond out of the timeout. Ellis finds a little bit of space, and Jonovic was there, had it punched away, but he touched it last, and it'll go back over to the Vikings.
Cleveland State shot that passing lane. Ellis did a good job recognizing as soon as he caught it, knew he had an advantage, went downhill. But that help side from the weak side for Cleveland State has been tremendous tonight.
Williams gets it back. Spinning on Ellis. Travel.
Good job by Ellis there, holding his ground. Spun back. That was a good little set play right there to try to get him going downhill. But Ellis held his ground, forced to travel.
Ramar Pryor checks in for the first time tonight. Ellis gets by Louder. Ellis, who started in the game against Akron, played 28 minutes in that ball game. Atlason has it. Bounce pass to Dean. Looking for Jonovic, he feeds the big man. Back to Dean, Ellis finds space all the way in, and the foul.
Great job on the ball movement. That time they moved it one extra time. Ellis with a great shot fake. The help side was too late to come over because they were busy rotating thanks to the ball movement. Great finish.
So Ellis finishes, and we know about his athletic ability. And like, let's not forget, I mean, this is a guy that basically hasn't played in a couple of years.
Right.
He continues to get better, and the more minutes he gets, the better he'll continue to get throughout the season. And you see the burst of athleticism right there from the Davenport, Iowa native.
No question about it. And he's a guy that we talked about filling a role for Connor Hickman. You know, they got to do it by committee, but when Connor gets back, he's a guy that you can develop more depth. That'd be even a better advantage for the Browns.
Arnett underneath, somehow got it over Hannah, but couldn't finish. They find Ellis in transition. Lobbed underneath, good feed to Hannah, but he had it poked and stripped away. And then is called for the reach-in foul on the other end.
Hannah, if he could, try to keep it high there. Drew Lauder's a little guard. He's got quick hands. Just came in there and stripped him. Next time he'll know to keep that up and just power through and dunk it.
So Jonovic, after a very quick blow, is right back in. And Williams will inbound. Euro step, no good, and the rebound to Duke Dean out of Shreveport, Louisiana. Gets the high ball screen from Jonovic. Hesitation step. In left side wing, Davis quick trigger three is off the mark, and Pryor skying in to make the rebound.
Good job by Dean there, getting in the paint, and good lift by Davis. That's a shot he's going to make.
And Aruna thought about a three. Here's Arnett. And now Williams right side. Down to 9 to shoot. Hand in the passing lane for Davis. Last touch by Aruna, and back over to Bradley.
And, you know, not shockingly, we're seeing Bradley, you know, they've got multiple guys that they've thrown in Aruna, and they've made life tough on him tonight. He's having to earn everything he gets.
Here's Dean, averaging just over 11 points per game. He's got 3 points tonight, go along with a rebound. Again, if you're just joining us, no Connor Hickman again tonight. On the ball screen, left short by Jonovic. Lauder tracks it down, cut off by Leons, and they'll slow things down.
A good play right there. Jonovic just goes up, he's got to finish it.
The shot clock winding down once again. Lauder leans in, and it doesn't drop. Good vision ahead from Dean to Leons, one-on-one, and Aruna stepped in front and draws the charge.
Great job by Aruna sacrificing his body right there. I thought maybe that could have been a block, but he did a good job getting over, and he got the benefit of the doubt with the call.
So for Leons, just his first. And Lauder will bring it up. They dotted at 17 for a while. They lob it for Aruna, and that one is called a jump ball as Dean got up there, and that'll turn back over to Bradley.
Well, Duke Dean may be little in size, but his heart, he's got a lot of stature there, so no surprise he's going to fight with the 6'8" Aruna for that one.
And Birch will inbound. He's got to stay stationary, and they are denying the inbound, but then Dean able to get it anyway. Behind the back dribble gives to Birch. Birch is bumped on his way in. Sort of lulled his defender to sleep and then tried to burst past him. Draws the foul. That's the 5th on Cleveland State.
I know that's what we talked about. Birch is such a strong, big body for a freshman. He's going to have a lot of those throughout his career.
Allison gets it into Hannah. Fade cut for Dean. Dean dumped to Hannah. Gets it back to Birch. Still 12 to shoot. Crossing over is Birch, and he's hit on the hand. And as you just alluded to, we've talked about in the past, someone that just does not shy away from the contact in Demarion Birch.
No, not at all, and that's what I call an IQ play right there. He got the basketball. There was 13 seconds on the shot clock. He saw he had Woodrich, who's a big on him, and he just attacked him, went straight downhill, drew the foul. He's going to get 2 free throws.
First one is good. Birch now knocks down his first free throw. Bradley 3 of 4 from the line. Ellis will come back for Dean. Two for 2 for Birch. It's been a game of mini runs, Christoph. I feel like a lot of 5-0, 6-0 runs in the opening half.
Oh, you're absolutely right. It's kind of interesting. Maybe will one team maybe do a 10-2 run, 12-4 type run, see if someone can get a lead up to 8-10 points.
And Aruna working on Atlason. Atlason has really held his own in one-on-one matchups against Aruna.
No, Brian, you're absolutely right. He does a great job on the ball defensively as well off the ball. But tonight they needed to do that in Eugene.
Shot fakes galore, and Ellis finishes at the rim.
What an athletic move there. Great job finishing by Ellis. Got his man off his feet, attacked, went around the help side. Nice little scoop with the right hand.
He actually now leads all Bradley scores with 5 points off the bench. Nearly forced the turnover, did Birch. Lauder thought about a good closeout by Atlason. Now does fire away and knocks down a triple.
Now that's tough.
Tough
Gary's
shot.
6'9" with a long 6'10" wingspan. He made that over.
That'll remain Bradley basketball when we come back. 3:12 remaining in the half. Braves holding on by the slimmest of margins, 21-20 the score on the Valley on ESPN.
This year, let Ford make the holidays bright and bring everyone together. Go over any type of terrain with Ford Bronco Sport.
How's the weather?
All good.
And the confidence of GOAT modes. And the versatile Ford Explorer with available seating for 7. And with power on demand in the all-electric Ford F-150 Lightning, well, that's how Ford is making the holidays bright. See your Ford dealer today during the Make the Holidays Bright sales event.
Sweet Fire Bar and Grill, located inside the Holiday Inn and Suites Peoria at Grand Prairie.
Bradley University student-athletes live their sport, so when an injury occurs, they need a team of specialists focused and ready to get them back in action. The sports medicine doctors at OSF Healthcare, in partnership with Great Plains Orthopedics, are specially trained to restore function to injured athletes so they can get back to competing as soon as possible. OSF Healthcare and Great Plains Orthopedics are proud to be the official sports medicine providers for Bradley Athletics.
Brian Bino, Christoph Kendrick with you, and a trip to Arch Madness in St. Louis isn't complete without visiting the MVC Fan Hangout. Arch Madness tips off March 7th through 10th, and the MVC Fan Hangout at Ballpark Village is the best place to celebrate before and after games, featuring restaurants, entertainment, and all things Arch Madness. For more information, visit archmadness.com and click on Fan Hangout. 21-20 is our score, Christoph. Neither team has been able to gain much separation in that first half, and kind of expect that. I mean, this is kind of Cleveland State's identity. I think some of their success a lot of times as a program is by making the other team not look great. And at times, you know, with the turnovers, offensive rebounds, they've been able to do it. That's how they've been able to hang around, right?
You're absolutely right. Bradley has 21 points. A big reason for that is the offensive rebounds. You're taking possessions away from the Braves, but also the steals and the turnovers are making it hard, so Bradley can't get a field goal attempt up, therefore they can't score.
Yeah, and flip side, Bradley still finds himself up even by this limited margin. Let's see if they can execute out of the timeout. Allison knifing his way in, and he gets the deuce. They got the matchup they wanted, and they make him pay.
That's a great job of personnel recognition by the Bradley staff there during the timeout.
More success out of the timeout. And Aruna, Woodridge thought about it. More personnel recognition on the other end of the floor, this time by Leons, not to give him any space. Louder buries another three, his third of the half, and he's tied one up at 23. He's got the last 6 for the Vikings.
Man, Drew Louder likes playing in Carver, I can tell you that.
Ellis dumped down low. They got the matchup they wanted, and Louder reached in on Hannah.
Well, there
and
it is
that's
again.
The 7th.
With the switching, they get Louder on Darius Hannah. They're going to throw it to him, and he's going to get rewarded with a one-on-one. Credit to the staff. Mike Bargan does a great job every week, every game, of breaking down what the other team likes to do defensively, and he's able to expose weaknesses. And you see Coach Wardle and the staff implement it throughout the game.
And now they get a trip to the line out of it for Darius Hannah. Makes the front end. Bradley reclaims a 1-point lead, 2:21 to go. Braves have limited the Vikings to just 27% from the floor. Davis nearly able to keep that possession alive, but Arnett got to it first, and bring it up is Williams. Opposite the screen goes Williams. Cutting to the basket and laying it in is Smith.
Good job by Williams there, driving and finding out. He goes downhill right hard every time. You got to be ready when he catches the ball. He's always in attack.
Slipping it himself as Leon's off balance, went up with it. Hannah fought for it, and he's going to get whistled for over the back.
Tough break there. I thought maybe Leon's got undercut a little bit.
And that's 3 on Darius Hannah. And so Jonovic will come back for him with 1:43 to go in the half. Braves will switch it up defensively.
We've seen this, Bradley use this to kind of disrupt the flow of offense. Not really looking to get a steal, but just slow people down.
And just like that, there's only 12 on the shot clock.
Absolutely.
And Aruna pulls up from deep and knocks down a 3.
And you're seeing that part of his game now. He normally doesn't take contested ones. He's only shot like 20 on the year, but when he does, he makes them.
Davis to answer.
And those are shots Davis usually makes, and they're going to need to make in the second half.
And carry's going to be called.
Well, that's one you got to be careful. Keep your hand on top of the basketball, and that's one that's maybe an inconsistent call, but certainly something that did happen.
So the Vikings out to a 4-point lead. 9 of their last 11 points have come from beyond the arc. About a 16-second differential shot clock to game clock. See if the Braves can get a good one. They will get a good one. And Leons knocks down a big 3.
And I think what Bradley was going for a 2-for-1 there, and it just went a little bit too slow, but that's all right. That was a big shot. They'll take it.
So if that is their last offensive possession of the half, it certainly was a good one. They crawl back to within 1 point. The shot clock now turned off. Here's Aruna. Pulls up and hits. Bradley does have some time left. Let's see if they can push the issue. 2 seconds, 1 second, good if it goes, and that one's too strong. And that's how our first half will come to an end. Seesaw battle in that first half, and as it stands after the first 20, it's the visiting Vikings on top by 3. We'll step aside, take a timeout. We'll give you first half highlights, stats, much more coming up after this. Watch Bradley basketball on the Valley on ESPN.
And Doug. And Doug says you can customize and save hundreds on car insurance with Liberty Mutual. He hits his mark center stage and is crushed by a baby grand piano. Are you replacing me? With this guy?
Customize and save with Liberty Bibbity.
He doesn't even have a mustache.
Oh, look, a Bee-Boo.
Still a one-possession game. Louder, step back 3, ties it at 64.
Drew Louder's been the man of the night tonight for Cleveland State, and that's his 5th or 6th 3, and I think 4 of them have been just like that.
Yeah, that's 6 to be exact. Now 24 for the Vikings, leads all scores. Ellis going baseline, kicks it opposite corner, deflected out of bounds by Enaruna. It'll be Bradley basketball, 15 to shoot. Atlason's going to come in for Jonovic.
Now a little bit more of a spread offensive style lineup here for the Braves.
They get it in to Atlason. Hands to Ellis. Fade for Dean. Now with the explosion in, cut up by Louder. 5 to shoot. Dean, Davis, Gray.
Great play by Duke Dean, found the open guy. There he is on that skip pass again.
Vikings shooting for the lead, 2.5 to go. Cleveland State with 1 timeout remaining. The Braves have 2. And Enaruna drives left side, goes up with the left and draws the contact.
That was a good job right there by Cleveland State, getting an ISO play for their best player getting downhill. He was able to draw a foul. Bradley's got to find a way to stay back on that just a little bit, make him finish over the top.
So Enaruna, who will shoot 2. He's 5 of 6 from the line, 18 points. Second of 2, rolls in, and it's a 2-point lead for the Vikings. 7-0 run for Cleveland State. And Dean will bring it up. They go to Leons. The Ellis, Atlason for the lead. Too strong, run down by Louder. Had a great look at it.
He really did, he really did.
And Enaruna. Cut off by Atlason.
Great job by Atlason.
Yep.
Great job by him.
Louder drives in, throws one up, no, and Arnett comes away with it, and Aruna's 3 is good.
Dylan Arnett, that's what he does. He's been all over the offensive glass tonight. He's able to get his team a 4-point lead, 5-point lead with that kick out 3.
So timeout taken by Bradley. What a response by the Vikings, and you mentioned a good effort, ball being sort of pinballed around. It finds the arms of Arnett, and a clutch 3 by Enaruna on the second chance opportunity. He now has 23 points, and it's a 10-0 run for Cleveland State. Still plenty of time with 92 seconds remaining.
Oh, absolutely. This is an eternity. We've seen Bradley in multiple overtime games this year, and I think they can get it back, maybe even win it in regulation, but you know, you're a basket away right here from this being a 1-possession game. You can come down and get a stop. You don't even need a foul yet. So plenty of time here. The Braves will not panic. They'll be able to come out, get a good look, come down and get a stop, and then they'll be able to do it again.
Again, Braves will be shooting in the double bonus the rest of the way. They do have one timeout remaining. Same goes for the Vikings. And again, they've really executed well out of timeouts, as we've said all along, particularly here in the second half. I think they've been flawless on their first offensive trip out of the timeout. Let's see what they draw up here.
I'm looking for maybe Duke Dean to get something going downhill. What's more likely is though Malavi Leons is gonna get something here for you know, maybe an ISO play or in the post, and he's gonna have to score it.
So it's going to be Leons, Davis, Dean, Ellis, and Allison, the same group as before the timeout. Leons gives to Allison. Allison gives to Dean. He's open. That one too strong, and last touched by Cleveland State. Nope. Well, they're going to call it out on Cleveland State. Yeah. However, there's under 2 remaining, so they're going to take a look at it to see if Ellis got his fingertips on that basketball.
And again, great play call by Coach Wardle there. Duke Dean makes that shot more often than not. It was a good look, and he just didn't go in.
Yeah, great look. Last couple of trips, Allison as well on the possession before. I mean, that's as high percentage of the threes you're going to get the last 2 trips. Just couldn't quite knock it down. And
I don't know if they can review this or overturn this, I should say. Clearly, the Cleveland State player hit the ball. It's from our angle, from that angle right there, it didn't look like as if Ellis maybe touched it.
We'll have to get another look at it. It was under the hoop. So we know Enaruna touches it first. That's right. That goes without saying. It's just, did Ellis get a fingertip on it?
Hard to tell.
Enaruna sort of blocks the view there.
Right.
So it just depends on the type of angles that they're able to see. I couldn't see from my angle, to be honest. And this might be a decent one.
Oh, you slow it down, and I don't know if there's enough to overturn that, Brian. But they did.
Wow, they did.
They did.
So overturn, it's going to be Cleveland State basketball.
I could see where it looked like he touched it, and he probably did. But I don't know if that was clearly, you know, indisputable evidence to overturn it. But
so it'll be Vikings basketball. Get one final look at it. Yeah, I mean, if his finger's kind of bent down, so yeah. So anyways, it'll be Vikings basketball, and they quickly break the press, and they're going to foul Louder and send him to the foul line, try to extend the basketball game. 65% is Louder.
Which, based off the way he shot the ball tonight, I'm shocked at how low that is for him.
So one of the bonus coming up for Louder. 9 of 12 for the night for the Vikings. First one is down. Now a 7-point game, 1:14 to go. Let it travel. Now picks it up. Dean, deep three is good. And a timeout taken by Brian Wardle.
And the Braves needed that one. And I'll be curious to see if Bradley is going to foul again or try to play this one out. It's still a 2-possession game. I assume we'll see some sort of press and whatnot here.
Drew's next three will be a career high.
So you get another look at the Dean three, a huge one. That's third triple of the night for Duke Dean. He's now in double figures with 11 points. And Cleveland State, again, you think about the strategy for the Braves. They're well aware that a lot of the things that Cleveland State does really well, generally speaking, free throws hasn't been one of them this year. They came in under 64% as a team. We talked about Lauder 65% despite burying those last two as well. So let's see what Bradley's able to do. 1:06 to go.
Well, you know, when you play on the road, especially against high-quality teams, you have to play a little bit above, or certainly better than your average at minimum. And we've seen that from Cleveland State tonight. And I was just informed Lauder's one more three away from a career high for him. So he certainly answered the call tonight for Cleveland State. And let's see what they do here. I don't know if Bradley's going to foul or if they're going to try to play this one straight up. But it's going to be an interesting chess match here to finish the last minute 5.
Yeah, it's the final timeout for the Braves. And looks like Birch is going to come in defensively for Atlason. Woodrich is going to inbound. He can run the baseline. They do get it in, and they do get a deflection, but it was last touched by Ellis.
And certainly Birch and Ellis are bigger, taller, longer guards than Lauder, and trying to use that to their advantage there.
Ryan Wardle asking for a review, and he's going to get one. If anything else, even if it's not overturned, the one thing that will change is now Cleveland State cannot run the baseline because it was dead ball last touch, so they will lose that ability to gain an angle on an inbounds pass here.
Which is a great point, and it gives Brian Wardle an extra pseudo timeout.
Yep.
So for him to talk things over again.
Which I'm sure went somewhat into the strategy for asking for a review.
Well, you know, and him and Coach Robinson are both outstanding coaches, and I think you saw at the last possession there, after Loudon made that free throw, a player was going to check in, and then Coach Robinson called him back. The horn blew, things stopped. Cleveland State was able to set up defensively. They were able to talk about matchups, and I think Coach Robinson knew what he was doing with that one as well.
Unless I'm missing something, that did appear to be off Ellis. And so if that's the case, obviously it will remain Cleveland State basketball. Get one more look.
Another, yep. Yeah, nothing there that looks like you can overturn it.
So 1:04 to go. They're still taking a look at it.
Maybe it's a little more closer than we thought.
It's going to stay Cleveland State basketball. And it'll be the same 5 defensively for the Braves, and it'll be once again Woodrich to inbound. Also with Smith, Lauder, Arnett, and Enaruna. And they get it into Lauder, who goes up the floor for Arnett, and he's fouled.
Leon's with his 3rd foul there. That was obviously the strategy. Try to get a steal right away. Didn't get it, foul.
And in theory, I mean, Arnett's a really good player, but he hasn't shot free throws particularly well. He's at 54%, and it's one of the bonus. So outside of getting a steal, this is as ideal as a situation in theory you can get for Bradley.
Absolutely. Let's see if it plays out that
way. And he makes the first.
Well, again, on the road. Now, he could miss this one. He is 54%. So the percentages say this one's probably off. But again, when you're on the road, you got to make these.
And he steps up and buries both. Lauder will check out. So Ellis will inbound, still a 2-possession games. 60 seconds to go. Dean will bring it up. He hit a 3 moments ago. This time he drives in, and he throws it to Rice, but Ellis is there, and he's fouled. Good awareness by Ellis.
Absolutely, and now you get a chance to score 2 points with no time coming off the clock. Coach Wardle can talk to the troops a little bit, get guys reorganized, and see what goes on from here.
So just the 3rd and 4th free throws of the year for Ellis. Lauder and Woodridge will come back in for Rice and Williams. Ellis now one of 4 Braves in double figures with 10 points. And he buries both.
That is a good omen right there for the Braves. Let's see how it plays out as well.
They get it into Arnett, and he zips it across to Smith, and he's fouled. Just ahead of the lead pass for Edaruna. So now it'll be Tevin Smith's turn. He comes in at 73%. And Cleveland State now shooting 2 the rest of the way. That's the 10th team foul on Bradley.
So double bonus both ways here. Free throws and getting good shots. If you're Bradley, is going to be the name of this game this last 45 seconds.
Again, the Vikings came in at 64% from the line.
And I think they've only missed, what, 3 or 4 tonight?
Yeah. Now 15 of 18 from the line. Bradley's been really good from the stripe too, 14 of 17. As Dean will bring it up. Dean, Atlason, thought about it, steps back, fires a 3, in and out, and the rebound goes to Smith, and he's fouled.
Atlason's shot looked good. We've seen a few of those go in and out for Bradley tonight. The Braves have gotten some good looks. Not that that was a great one, but it certainly had a chance to go in and just have not been able to convert it.
So 2 more free throws forthcoming for Cleveland State, trying to ice this one on the road. And it'll be Tevin Smith, who just hit a couple a moment ago. Birch will come in for Allison. You're right, Allison's ball halfway down. Would have made it a 3-point game.
Yep.
They finally miss one. Davis is going to bring it up. Pulls up from 3. That's off the mark. Just grazed the rim. And it'll go back over to the Vikings.
And it looks as if, barring something unforeseen here, Cleveland State's going to come away with a huge road victory. Certainly one for Coach Robinson, his program that they've earned and can build off of going forward.
Yeah, it looked like Bradley had a 5-point lead in the latter portion of this game. Still plenty of time, but it just felt like the Braves might have had a chance to run away or at least create a little bit of separation. But credit Cleveland State. I mean, they just fought back, and that's the identity of this program. Both these teams have generally done that, but tonight, Cleveland State played nearly as well as they could, and to do so on the road is extremely impressive, and credit the Vikings for coming in and getting this 7-point win on the road.
No, absolutely, they played great, and the significance of this game, if Cleveland State's able to win their league, they'll look back on this, and this is a game that could potentially say, hey, this keeps you off the 16 line. Because you have this road win. Bradley will be a quad 1, quad 2 type team. You can say this is a game that will keep you off that 16 line or that play-in game if they win their league. Now that's big picture, but that's why Horizon League schools schedule games like this.
Yeah, no question about it. And both these teams have really, as we said throughout the course of the broadcast, really tested themselves in non-conference action. Every single night you're going to get a really difficult squad and a very difficult program. That was the case tonight for the Braves, and Cleveland State was ready for it. And they're up to the challenge, and like we said, just credit the Vikings for coming in here and getting the win. Yeah, no, absolutely. And Bradley has not had an off night. They are playing teams that are very good, top of their league every night. And you see it catch up to them a little bit. Winning programs. But this will pay dividends in Missouri Valley Conference play for the Braves. Yeah, they'll go back and see if they can bounce back against another extremely difficult opponent on Monday at St. Vincent St. Mary's High School, LeBron James Arena on Monday against Duquesne, a team that's picked towards the top of the A10 as well. So that's going to wrap things up for Carver Arena. For my partner Christoph Kendrick and Luke Kocher and everyone in our Chef Tech production crew saying so long from Carver Arena. Again, the final here, it's the Cleveland State Vikings 76, the Bradley Braves 69. You've been watching The Valley on ESPN.